This is group 9. We are going to take you through the topic storekeeping. And I'm Lavender Awuor. I'm going to take the introduction part of storekeeping and the objectives. Let's concentrate, okay? Storekeeping as a topic. Let's first define what is storekeeping. When you look at the word storekeeping, we have two words in one. We have store and we have keeping. What is a store? Let me find an answer from you. What is a store? Okay, a store is an area. It's an area in a building or a place where we store the equipment, food, and the inventories. So when we add the word keeping, it's now coming to be a process. A process, an art, or an activity, something to do. When you are storekeeping, you are doing it. Sindio? So storekeeping is an art of storing, of preserving and safe maintenance of equipment, food, materials, and inventories. That is storekeeping. So we come to the objectives. Objectives of storekeeping. Here we find number 1 is to ensure uninterrupted supply of materials without delay to production or service department. So by that process of storekeeping, it helps to prevent delays. Like when you store things in time, when there is correct storekeeping, there is no delay in production and service. Okay? Number 2, we have to prevent overstocking and understocking of materials. When we talk of overstocking is when you stock too much goods in the store. Then understocking is when you have less than what is required. So in the process of storekeeping, we try to avoid overstocking and understocking. That is objective number 2. Number 3, to ensure optimal utilization of available storage space. Optimal. Somebody tell us what this means. Anyone? Optimal. Point inasema to ensure optimal utilization of available storage space. You use the space to the maximum. Okay? Yeah. Yani when you are storekeeping, you control even the use of space that is available in the store. Right? Number 4, to identify and locate materials in storeroom without delay. Then, when we talk of allocating materials, what comes to my mind is the process we learned earlier. We have FIFO and LIFO. FIFO is first come, first out. Sindio? Then first in, first out. Then LIFO, last in, passed out. So for you to maintain the correct location of materials in the store, you must ensure this, okay?
Yes.
To avoid like kuchanganya goods, utapata unatoa what is not required at that time. So you consider leaf and FIFO for your good work. Then the last one, to minimize storage cost. When we practice storekeeping, always we will minimize storage cost, like everything will be arranged in order, everything will be received correctly, and everything will be handled correctly. So storage cost is going to be minimized. And that is the end of my presentation.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Bredar, and I'll be taking you through the functions of storekeeping. In other words, storekeeping functions. So the first function we have, first in a store you have to receive goods. So as a function of storekeeping, we have receiving purchased stores from the receiving departments and verifying that every lot of stores is supported by a purchase order and an inspection note. So function 1 is to receive. We have function 2, which is ensuring that all the goods received notes are frequently posted to the bin tag. What is a bin tag? Anyone? It is a document that records the movement of goods in and out of the store. A document that records the movement of goods in and out of the store. We have function number 3. It's to place and arrange goods received in suitable places and adhering to the golden principle of storekeeping, that is, a place for everything in its place. Is that understood? You ensure that there is proper storage of everything, each and every item in the store. Point 4, we have periodically reviewing the inventory in the stores, where you establish an inventory control system depending with your organization and the rules that are in that organization on how to carry stock, on how to carry inventory control. Point 5, we have safeguarding materials from theft, pilferage, and also fire. You have to ensure that the items that you are storing in the store, that they are safe from fire and theft. We have preventing the entry of unauthorized persons in the store. We cannot have everyone in the store. We've got to have one person who mans and runs the store for the safety of the items in the store. We have supervising and coordinating the duties of different staff, working under the direction of the storekeeper. So in the store, you will also have staff, and they must be trusted people, because we have goods there, and you have to, as a storekeeper, you have to supervise and coordinate and ensure that the workers under you follow your direction in storekeeping. That's all in done. Any questions? Yes.
Just something maybe to ask on the functions of the store. There is something that is normally known as a reorder level. If the goods normally reach a certain point, the storekeeper must be able to know so that they can be able to order from their suppliers. So the order level depends on the establishment of the establishment.
You got her point? Okay, thank you. Morning.
Good morning.
My name is Esther. Esther Ndinda, taking you through duties of a storekeeper. Number one, storekeeper. The work of a storekeeper is to issue requisitions to the purchase department to ensure materials are purchased in a timely way. Like, kama ni kwa any establishment, any materials requested by different departments like restaurant, hotels, it is a work of the storekeeper to request for the purchase of these materials. Number two, to accept into the stores any materials received from the suppliers or returned by the production department. Munashika.
Yeah.
To check in all materials in terms of quality and quantity. Like any materials purchased requested to be supplied, it is a duty of a storekeeper to check against the quantity and quality which were ordered. To hold materials in a safe and convenient manner in appropriate bins and containers for storage. To issue materials against the proper authorization. To maintain records of receipt, issues, and balance of materials. To watch levels of stock and replenish materials when necessary. To replenish new fill kama zimeisha naongeza. To prevent the entry of an unauthorized person into the stores. Watu wengine wa departments hawafai kuingia kwa store. Storekeeper anapaswa kufunga unless otherwise. To advise management on the day-to-day affairs of the store. To dispose of scrap or obsolete materials. Obsolete materials are materials which are no longer in use. Thank you.
So good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm Mutuku. I'm going to take you through the factors to consider when laying up a store. Who can share or has an idea of what to consider? Yes, Faith? Another one? Yvonne? Yes, Andia? Sorry? Good. Umesikia chenye Andia amesema?
Yes.
Rudia tafadhali. Location. Something else to consider? Anyone with a point? So I'm going to give you a few of the points that I have. Then you can do more of the research to exhaust all the points. So the first one is maximization of the materials. What do we mean by maximization of materials? Norine? What do you understand by the term maximization of materials? Like what do you consider in in locating a store, then you elaborate it in terms of maximization of material. Anyone? Okay. So this refers to the duration or the space. The space that you locate your store has to be near production areas. Like you cannot locate your store on a different space where production is not. The distance has to be relative to the production area or to the departments that are using the goods, right? Yes. Then we have nature of materials. So you cannot store dry goods with dairy goods. Still, see, we have different sectors in stores. We have cold room where you store the perishable goods. Yes. Then dry goods, you store them alone, right? Mm-hmm. Then we have flow material. Like the goods, the store has to be near the production area. Sawa. Then you have flexibility. You should consider that a layout that in future, if you need to expand or you need to change the design, it will be able to be flexible. Sawa. Then you have to choose a location which is free from risk of theft and fire. Who needs explanation of that? Then quantity and weight of the materials. You cannot store, like let's say we have a store that is giving every good like cement and stuff. Whether it's yeka uko juu, while else you can consider placing them on the ground floor. Sawa? Yes. Any question? That's all what I have for factors to consider. Any point that is not clear? Yes?
Most of the times the stores, we can also separate them from food. So you can imagine this is a hotel setup where we have our stores where we keep our food, and we also have some chemicals and equipment for housekeeping. So those stores should not be close by. They should be put in very different locations.
Yeah, very true. Another question, another point to add on. Anyone with that point? Okay, that's all I had.
Okay, layout basically is how you will arrange your store and how you will arrange the items in the store. So the first factor to consider in a layout is similarity. Similarity is something like if you have juices, you will consider placing juices in one side, like all types of juices. You mix, okay, let's say drinks. So you put juices, then you get juices, wines, according to their similarity purposes. Another point is popularity. Popularity is kwa menu items kuna move sana while others are slow. So these things that are fast moving in a menu, you'll consider placing them in a place that is easily accessible, and like the things that are, okay, let me call them dead stock, because dead stock it was removed. So you consider number 2 the popularity of the items. Number 3 is the size of the items that you're storing. If you're storing heavy and bulky things, you'll consider storing them karibu na mlango for easy transportation, ama mtu asichoke akibeba to the long distances. Number 4 is the nature of the materials. Nature can be hazardous, like the chemicals used for cleaning, kuna perishable goods. Of course, we mix the cleaning materials na foods. So if it's a cleaning material, you usually make sure you put them on the lower shelf, because kusikwe na spillage on the other food items. And then again, for the cleaning materials, you make sure you put them kando na the food items. Number 4 is the physical movement of materials. Like one of us had said here, first in, first out. There are things that, like, first in, first out is the first thing that kituliorder last week, wezi tumia yenye umeorder leo na kuna za last week. So when you receive your goods, you ensure that zenye zimeingia, you put them at the back, and then the ones that were there, you move them in front, so that you can observe the first in, first out. The other thing is the physical facilities. Physical facilities need to cover lighting, sockets, because vitu kama freezers, they'll need kwenye kuna sockets for the power supply. So you consider such things. Another thing is ventilation, because there are goods that should be stored in dark places, like wines. There are wines that require dark places. So if you're storing such things, you'll ensure kwenye iko light and fiki. Yes. I think that's it in the factors. Who has another factor? Importance of store layout. The first important is your effective utilization of available space. One of us has said it. Because if you know this is the items that I use this week, or per month this is the items that I require, you see a lot of a stock or under stock, so you'll be utilizing the space that you have. Another one is it makes easier reception and issuing of items. When you arrange your store, you already know hizi ndio vitu nafaa kutoa kwanza, followed by this and this. So reception and issuing will be very easy. Another thing is appearance of the store. Of course, when you arrange your store neatly, it will be appealing and you can easily identify things that you want. Ya mwisho, it minimizes damages. Yes, damages easy because you already have the stock of the things that you have. So damages, wastage, and preferages will be minimized. That's it from me.
Good morning. We've talked a lot about the storekeeping. Yeah? We started with the meaning, we went to objectives, we went to the function, the duties. Now I'm going to talk about the documents used in the store. And I know there's some documents you know that are used in the store, yeah? Who can give me one of the documents used in the store that you know? Yes, Fanny. Bin card. Yes, the bin card, it was talked about it here, and my colleague explained it as it's used in record. It's used to record the movement in and out of the item in a specific bin or the storage area. So I'm going to give another one, the purchase requisition. Document used internally to request the purchasing department to procure goods or materials. Yeah. So in that, in a purchasing requisition, just a minute. Yes, so in that purchasing requisition, just the way I've said it, document used internally to request the purchasing department to procure goods or materials. Another one is purchase order, a formal document sent to a supplier to order goods. When you want to order goods, let's say like the goods that we use in production. Yeah? So they will write a purchasing order to give the supplier so that the supplier will know what to bring. Then we have good received notes. Good received notes are documents used to record the receipts of goods delivered by a supplier. So in a good received note, if you don't get everything that you purchased, you won't sign that document. So the document you only sign after the goods you purchased has been delivered by the supplier. Then we go to the bin card. I've already talked about the bin card. We go to store requisition form. These are the requisition forms that we usually use when we want something from the store. Yeah? We first write them down, then we give the storekeeper, and the storekeeper will issue the goods. Yeah? And then we go to delivery note issued by a supplier. It's a company good delivered to the store and the list item. So the suppliers also have their own documents, yeah? The delivery note. In the company, they have to sign like the goods have been delivered to the case ticket. Another one is the stock taking or inventory ledger. It's a document that tracks all the stocks movement and maintain up-to-date inventory record. Issue note, a document that record the item issued from the stock for internal use or production. We have stock taking sheet. It's used during stock taking exercise to count and record the physical stock. In most of the companies, actually stock taking it's done at the end of the month. Yeah, it's done by the end of the month. You make sure like everything that was purchased or anything that is inside that company, it must be counted. Then we have the last one, the invoice. It's sent by the supplier. It lists the goods and delivered and the amount of payment. So that's all about the documents on the stock. If you have any other documents that have left out, you can add to this. Okay, if not, thank you. That's
I'm Onyango. I'm going to present the types of stock. We have talked about the storekeeping. We have talked about the functions. We have talked about the documents used in stock. And now I'm going to present on the types. Types of stock. Types of stock. Basically, we have how many types of stock? Basically, we have 2 types of stock. There are 2 types. 2 types of stock. Number 1, we have centralized and decentralized. Number 1, we have centralized stock, and number 2, decentralized. Centralized store and decentralized store. We are going to talk about the meaning of centralized store and the advantages and disadvantages. Then decentralized store, advantages and disadvantages, okay? So centralized stores, if we start with centralized stores, these are stores which receives materials for and issues them to all departments. From the word centralized, you can underline center, the center there. So this is a store that is at the center. It delivers materials to all the departments. Such stores are only in one company, for example. Are you getting that point? Advantages of centralized stores. Advantages of centralized store. Number 1 advantage, there's lower storage cost. Lower storage cost. Number 2, there's high readiness to deliver. Number 3, there's low personnel cost. Number 4, high degree of automation possible. I'm sorry. Advantages of centralized store. Number 1, lower storage cost. Number 2, high readiness to delivery. 3, low personnel cost. Then number 4, high degree of automation possible. Next, better supervision and control. We have disadvantages. Are you there? Disadvantages, number 1, slow decision making. Because it is a store that is delivering materials to all the departments, it will take all the heads of departments to sit down and decide on what to purchase and on what to bring. Then number 2, lack of innovation. You cannot show your creativity because the decision is based on many heads. So when you start showing your skills, you will be stopped and somebody might tell you to slow down. Next, there's longer transport routes. Next, there's highly transport costs. Next, there's risk of loss. I encourage you to write faster because these are things you know. There's highly transport costs. There's reduced supply flexibility. There's a risk of loss. There are chances of delay in sending materials to the department and branches. You will write a requisition today, maybe you need certain things in your department, and it will take long. Maybe they are still waiting for the principal to sign, they are still waiting for the deputy principal to see the document, something of that kind. Can we move to decentralized stores? Decentralized stores, as I said earlier, it's a store which receives material for and issue them to only one department. Advantages. You can tell me the advantages. Two people. Advantage from this side. Please sit like someone in class. Don't sit like you are in a restaurant. Sit like a student in class. That is what I'm saying, please. Yes, this side. This side.
It saves on time.
It saves on time. Thank you so much. You need not to wait for anybody to sign. You just go to the department and order your things, then you are given. It's unlike centralized store. Another point? Anybody can try? Anybody can try? Can I choose? Okay, I will read for you advantages of decentralized stores. Number one, there's faster delivery time. You order, you're being given, no waiting for anybody to sign. Number two, it saves cost on heavy items and security. It saves cost on heavy items and security. Anybody to add any advantage? I only have two. Anybody to add any point on advantages? Come on, let's go to disadvantages.
Advantage. There's faster decision making.
Thank you so much. There's faster in decision making as it only deals with one department. Thank you so much. For disadvantages, I have around 4. Number one, there's high minimum stock. There's high minimum stock. Number two, there's high effort for inventory management. Number 3, there's high control expenditure. There's high control expenditure. Number 4, there's high investment